All right, this is the second official 2018 call for the Relentless squad, and I'm excited to have Mandy on as a guest speaker with one of her personally sponsored coaches, Lisa. Mandy and I became friends when we were part of this mastermind group with corporate, and I just loved her personality. And then we got to kind of know each other a little bit better when we were in the Shift Shop test group, and she's got everything that I see her post, it's like you can tell that her personality shines through, and I love it. She is a two-time elite team leader, and they just celebrated their second year, and then they took off and had a great leadership little retreat for their team in Arizona, and now she's back in the freezing cold. But she is amazing. She helped 3 people advance to Diamond last year, and so this year with the changes to the elite requirements, elite is so attainable for all of us. And so part of becoming elite is helping people advance to Diamond. And that's something that I did in 3.5 months, and it's things that I've seen happen in 30 days. And so a lot of people feel like this is something that's unattainable, and it's totally doable, and it definitely is a decision that you make. And I thought that somebody who just had success this last year would be great, and I asked her to speak along with one of her personally sponsored Diamond coaches, because a lot has to do with how you work together and the things that you set and the actions that those people take whenever you make those decisions to go all in. So anyways, I will shut up and turn it over to you guys.
Yay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the nice introduction. I actually have 3 coaches. All 3 new Diamonds are going to jump on too. Lacey just jumped on. We've got Lisa, and Natasha is running Fit Club, so she's jumping on here in just a second. But I'm super excited to talk to you guys. Like, this is we turned a really hard year into a win at the end, which is what we needed. We needed a win. I don't know about you guys, but we were able to like push together right towards the end and make this huge goal happen. But are we talking to like more emeralds, more diamonds, or a mix of both? Probably mix of both. Okay. So here I wrote down like a few notes, and so I feel like any step that you're trying to take in your business, whether it's emerald, diamond, premier, or elite, which the elite things have crazy changed this year and is much more attainable. I'm so excited about it, and you won't have to have the end of the year stress that we had this year. So go look up all those requirements. I'm sure Mandy has them to pass along to you. My first thing is to set a date. I am one of those people, if I don't have a date, then that goal is probably not going to be obtained. I am a procrastination queen. We hit elite the very last day of the month. So, and there's Natasha. So we hit elite the very last day of the year, and but we had that date in mind. So make your date not the last day of the year. But so I think what some good dates are right now for you or your team would be Summit. Summit's coming up. There's still a lot of time to work towards that goal. If you've never been to Summit, you definitely need to get it on your list. And it's coming to our state, Indiana. So it's about a 2.5-hour drive for us. So we're so excited. We're going to be there. But set that date. Yes, and you need to buy them, right? Mandy just said from 1:45 before the 31st. So set that date now to walk on that stage or be recognized as a diamond coach there. Walk on the stage as a 2-star diamond. Like, set that goal now and then reverse engineer the goal and what you need to get there. There's a lot of great material online if you just look up like Star Diamond Roadmap or Diamond Roadmap and set your goal. Finding your rock stars. I think this is another big thing. There's like 4 ways I go after my rock star coaches. One is I wrote a list of all the people that I want to work with. Not only are they just people I already know, who I know would be a great coach, but when I'm scrolling on my friends on Facebook, they're the ones whose social media is rocking. They're positive, they're fun, they have tons of common friends and that you just want to be around them, right? Or they're the person who already is in love with fitness and nutrition, and that's what they talk about daily. One example is a diamond coach who's not on right now, but all she ever talked about was her fitness journey and teaching classes and how much she loved fitness. And I went after her for a year, every few weeks, messaging her after a great post, like, you need to be a coach with me. You need to be a coach with me. You need to be a coach with me, right? I mean, her and her husband would giggle like, oh, there's Mandy again. But you know what? She's been coaching with me for 3 years and helped us get elite this year. So that's number one, is finding the people on social media or in your life that you want as a coach. Number two would be your rock star challengers, like people that you see that are kicking butt in these challenges. And they are going to be the ones who are posting every day. They are going to be the ones who are sharing their journey, rocking their results, and they just might even surprise you. Like, I had one person today, my newest coach, signed up just to be in Autumn's group, just did basically a coming out post. So she got a message right away, like, great job, lady. Are you ready to coach? So I call it like fun aggressiveness, where it sounds silly when I message them, but so I start with a compliment and then back it up with intention, right? Like, oh my gosh, girl, do you know how inspiring you are? You need to be a coach. And they're going to say, oh my gosh, no, I'll never coach. And you're going to say, I thought the same thing. And then go on and compliment them why they would rock this business, right? Another way is doing coach up calls and doing posts on your Facebook page. Some people are just going to come after you. That one's a little harder. And then now I can't remember my fourth, but I will think of it. Okay, so finding your rock stars is number one, and going after your dream team. Next up is building your belief. My first year as elite, I started the year as a Ruby coach. I had lost my diamond and started the year as a Ruby coach. I ended the year as a 6-star diamond. But what made that happen was my belief was stronger than anyone's that I was going to walk on that stage. I knew we went to Cancun that year as a diamond coach, but we were rated a high team. I didn't even know how that happened back then. And I saw the people with their elite bags, and then we went to Summit, and I was like, well, I'm going to go to Summit as a 2-star because there's a cool party. So I set that goal from Cancun to Summit that I was going to that party. It sounds silly, but then I grabbed my rock stars that I knew could make it happen, and I set us up in a challenge group together. So there was 3 of us, 2 of my coaches, and a third. And what we did is every day we checked in with our vital behaviors. Every day we set this goal. I offered a prize. We knew that the goal was to hit 2-star for us to qualify for Summit, for me to walk across that stage, for them to be part of that, right? And then once those hit, other people wanted to have that happen. So we set the goal as elite. And then I actually went to Summit that year as 4-star qualifying, just because we set the bar high and we did a weekly Zoom every night. I think that's huge. Sharing your goal. Doing a weekly Zoom. I think I said every day. A weekly Zoom. So we set our meetings on Monday nights. There was only 3 of us at the beginning. It kept turning into more, and we made it be an Emerald Zoom. So the only way you could get on it is if you were Emerald or higher, and then we had to turn it into a Diamond Zoom because that started to get more. So, but we always shared the goal. The goal was for us to be an elite team, and we all worked for it together. And then messenger chats. Yes, I am very, very fortunate, and I've got this amazing local team. So we are able to meet up. We are able to do a monthly margarita night. We're going to start a monthly game night. Our Natasha actually hosts a fit clubs on Tuesdays. So we go and work out together. We would get coffee in the morning. When we set this huge goal for this year, we started doing weekly meetups at Starbucks early morning before the kids were up, like 6 o'clock in the morning, being totally crazy. And we set this goal together because we needed all of us to do it to make this huge thing happen. But I really say the main thing is setting your goal, whatever it is. Is it diamond? Is it premier? Is it elite? And then, or is it just walking across the stage at Summit? Is it walking into the Success Club trip if you're on it as a 2-star? And then rallying your tribe and showing them and cheering them on, complimenting. I think that's such a huge thing, and believing in them and believing in yourself. You can't go into it negative. All right, do we want to hear, let's hear from Lisa. She was our first diamond in May. I can't unmute you. Can you unmute you?
Yes. Okay. Hi guys. I was in a Push to Diamond group back in like May, I believe it started. April to May, right around Easter. And so I got to hear a bunch of superstar diamond coaches chat. And if you aren't following Superstar Diamonds, you need to. And it's not just to steal their post, because if you steal their post, you still have to use your own words. If you take someone else's message, you still have to have your own voice in it. And that's one of the important things that I've learned and I've seen other coaches do, is that we share and share alike, but we make it our own. You have to find your own voice. You have to find your own confidence. And then when you start sharing that, you fake it until you make it, right? You have that confidence, you have that appeal, and then people want to join you. I wrote some notes, so I'm writing these down. National wake-up calls are huge. If you're not listening to those people, you need to, because they have them on podcasts. So a couple days later, you can then fast forward to the beginning if you don't want to listen to that. But you need to be listening to those messages. And one of our fellow coaches on the team says, if they're not asking you to speak, then you're not the best at it. So until you are asked to speak on something, then you need to be listening to other people talk. So that's one of the big things that I've learned as well. You need to invite. Don't hold someone else's future inside your mouth. You need to get out there and ask. And if people ignore you, follow up. People don't jump on the 5th time. People jump on like on the 12th time, on the 13th time you've talked to them. If you don't follow up, and 90% of us don't, someone else is going to follow up with that person, and they're going to steal them, and they're going to become on that person's rock star team. One thing I do want to let you know is that you can build diamond yourself. And I did not, once I heard that, I'm like, done. You don't have to find a rock star in the beginning, because you don't have the longevity necessarily. You don't have the following yet. So you can sign your spouse, you can sign a friend, you can sign a sibling, you can sign a parent, get yourself to Emerald. And then once you have those two, start building your team, and you can be in control of your own diamond. You can then even take that diamond to a 2-star. And once you get a 2-star, you get your 3rd business or your 2nd business center, and then you become a 3-star. And you can do that yourself. So we give ourselves, like I've heard something in the beginning is like, give yourself a year. Make sure you are here in a year, because that will show you where you've come from day 1 to a year in the business. But I heard, I went back to my Push to Diamond group and listened to Christy Kronzer. I think I said that wrong. But she said, she goes, people say give yourself a year. She goes, give yourself 4, give yourself 5 years. We go to college and we pay for this degree to work for somebody else. We need to pay ourselves and give ourselves that time to learn, to grow, just like we did when we were in school. And that way you are taking your time and investing it in yourself, in your own future. And then you're going to be able to see where you go from there. So you don't have to necessarily take a long time to get to diamond. You could take, it took me, I think, 9 months to get to diamond, but I didn't see it right away. I jumped on as just a hobby coach. I'm like, I'm not posting videos. I'm not going live. And now I'm going to be 2-star by, I'm hoping by Mexico. And then I'm pushing for 5-star and elite this year. So, and the one thing I've learned is if you don't set your goals high, and if they don't make you want to vomit, you're not setting them high enough. So reach for the stars. I know, as corny as that sounds, that's what you have to do, because when you do that, if you fail, you're going to just be missing it. You're not going to be failing because you're just going to be falling, like fail forward. If you move the date, don't move your goal. So that was really fast. Sorry.
No, it was perfect. What I wanted to add to Lisa's is she did make herself diamond, but then her confidence skyrocketed, and then 3 other people like immediately joined her team and started working the business and going emerald. But she needed that win, so her confidence skyrocketed, and then people started seeing her message and joining the team. And so I took that away from Lisa. Like, yes, you need that win. She had all the players, right? And so why not just work your business smart, get the higher cycle bonus, get the ranks, get the, I don't think they do them anymore, the bonuses and the esteem from a diamond. So that was my good takeaway from that. Next up is Natasha. Natasha is one of our newest diamonds, and I love this message. Okay.
All right. So I'm a little shorter than Lisa here, but my main thing is that we all pushed each other in this group. Like when we were working for this to get Mandy to elite and for us to get diamond, we really all pushed each other. But my biggest thing is fear of asking people things and stuff. So my biggest takeaway to give you is personal development. And I know you probably hear that from people all the time, but it's huge. And it's actually what got me to diamond this past month. So I was reading the 5-second rule. I don't know if any of you have read it, Mel Robbins, and that is actually what got me to diamond. So I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and went and asked people who I had been too scared to ask to join me. And that's how I got to diamond this past December, was simply by doing that. I just stepped out of my box and forgot about it and just said, so what, just go ask. If they say no, they say no, but they didn't. They said yes. So then I became diamond in December just by following that one book, a silly little thing where you count backwards from 5. So read some personal development. You have to find the one that works for you. I don't think that all of them speak to everybody. So I think you need to find the one that you need. And that was definitely the book that pushed me. So that's what I've got.
It was amazing to watch too. This 5-second rule. She was like, I got this, and boom, 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 and went. And so yes, I highly recommend that book if you guys haven't tried it. For sure. Amazing. It was so fun. And then we've got Lacey, who just went diamond.
All right. Hi, guys. So I'm going to kind of play off of what Mandy said on goal setting. I started as just a discount coach in 2015 and working out. I believed in the products and everything. And Mandy, I think just about every month was like, you really should coach with me. You should do this. You should do this. And I thought, no way. Nobody's going to care about what I have to say or, you know, how I feel about things or anything like that. And then at the end of 2016, I finally messaged her and I said, okay, I'm ready. There's got to be something more what I can do. Right now, I'm a full-time dental assistant. I've been a dental assistant for 15 years and I'm just, you know, burnt out. I was ready to do something else. So Mandy supported me. You know, having a team is very, very important because I know without these ladies, I definitely would not have pushed. And then I become diamond last month. Within like 2 months of coaching, I was emerald, but then I kind of tapered off. So being consistent in posting and doing your follow-ups, like they said, is really important. Because like I said before, I thought, well, nobody's going to care, you know, but even though if somebody's not commenting or they're not liking your post or something like that, they're still watching, because I don't know how many times a day somebody might message me or something, or somebody I see, they're like, you know, thanks for doing that. You're motivating me. So even if, you know, you're not getting the answers you want on somebody joining you or something, everybody's always watching. So yeah, my ultimate goal is to quit my job and become a 2-star, you know, maybe even higher. I always joke with Mandy. I said, if I could become half the coach as you, I'll be happy, you know. But without these ladies, I know for sure I wouldn't have been able to do it, because they kind of reeled me back in, because you know, life gets in the way and you're like, oh, maybe I'll post something today, and then a week goes by and then I'll post something again. And, you know, seeing them always post and being there to support and message always have your back is super, super important to have people like that. So that's kind of, goal setting is really important, and just having a good foundation or whatever, that support to fall back on is really good. So I didn't think I could do this. Like I said, I didn't think anybody cared, but actually a lot of people care. And I think a lot of my challenges that I have, I mean, they said this is the best thing I could have done is contacted them. So that makes you feel good, that you're like really helping somebody, and that people actually do care that you're doing this. So yeah, I love it. It's the best decision I've made. So can't wait to take this further. So that's about it.
Oh, you guys make me smile. I'm so proud of this team. It was because of them that we were able to push this thing through and push everyone so hard, and just really awesome. Fun year.
So one thing that I just heard, over and over again is you guys leaned in on each other, and that it was definitely a team decision, and that you couldn't have done it without one another, and not just the leader being Mandy, but all together. And so that's something that I remember when sometimes it's so hard. I've been a coach for almost 6 years. Next month will be 6 years. And so it's so hard to remember some of these things. But as you guys were talking, as Lisa was talking, I remembered that my coach, I was never a goal setter, but she texted me a picture on a pink Post-it note in her hand with her goals written out. And she was like, send me yours. And I remember kind of panic. And I was like, well, I've never set goals. I don't even know what to set. And I was I'd signed up February 15th, and she sent that at the beginning of May. And so I was like, I don't know. And so I just copycat what she did. Her goal was 2-star. And so I was like, well, I'll go diamond. And it was one of those things that I was pushing and pushing, but it was the same thing that in the beginning I was, people were watching me, and I had helped people, but I didn't have that longevity backing my reputation. And my people didn't really know who Becky was either until I had started. All of a sudden I'm tagging this person that nobody that I grew up with or lived in the same community with knew. So they were not only getting to know who the new Mandy was, but who is this person that we know nothing about. And so I totally forgot that I honestly can't even remember who my first emerald was, but I was lacking one emerald at the beginning of June. And I had one person that was wanting to work the business. And I remember my coach saying, you tell her that if she finds a coach, I'll give her a coach to get to emerald. And that's that thinking outside the box, type of, way of getting shit done. And she transferred one of her longtime friends who was a discount customer over to be a coach under her. And so it's my son's birthday, but on June 7th of 2012, she went 2-star or started qualifying for 2-star, and I went diamond. I totally forgot about that until Lisa said that in the beginning, sometimes you just got to figure out a way to get it done. And then after that, then I started in June, I signed one of my coaches that is still here with me to this day, who was one of my diamonds that helped us become elite for the first year. And so those are the things that happen that, sometimes, you are a leader, but sometimes you got to make stuff happen so that the world sees you as the leader that you are. And it's really just thinking outside the box. And, just going to people and realizing that you have a gift and not giving up. So Mandy, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. First thing is you have great energy. I've watched your videos. You're hilarious. But you're saying, find your rockstar challengers. And so, I have been able to identify who my rockstar challengers are over the years, but what do you do specifically to be able to pinpoint who the rockstar challengers are in your challenge group? Or what do you ladies do that helps you draw those people out so that they are opening up, they are posting, and they are sharing?
Can I take this for a second?
Yeah.
So I have people who I see that are current challengers that signed as a discount coach or whatever. And, we've chatted about coaching, and they're like, no, not right now. But they're so I will give them a mission in our challenge group and be like, hey, can you do me a favor? And I know if someone works out in the morning, I'll say, can you post something inspirational on these days for me? And then someone who might work out in the evening, can you post your meal or what you're doing this evening? Just so that they are constantly active and they get used to doing what it is that we do. without overwhelming them. So give them something like a task per se. And I did this when I went to Summit. I had a couple of my newer coaches. I'd be like, okay, you handle the check-in for this day for me. I'm going to be, like, here's our check-in. Go check in nightly. Go check in with the challengers. And that way you're letting them be a coach without them realizing it. That's one thing I do.
Smart. Actually, all three of these coaches that are on with me right now were all challengers first, who you could just tell love the program. And so every time that I would see them post, or I message my challengers weekly on Sundays usually, to hear how their week went, to hear their weigh-ins and all that kind of things. And then they would tell me how great they're doing, how much they love it. And so then the next conversation, maybe not right that moment, but after you keep seeing them post things, is, have you ever thought about coaching? And they always say, oh my gosh, no, never. Are you kidding me? I'm too shy for that. Like, well, I'm probably shyer than you, which you won't believe, right? But I'm really shy, but I love this so much. Or they'll say, I could never coach. Look at me. I'm not a coach. And it's like, I got doctor's notes out of gym class. Like, I'm not a fitness or nutrition expert. So that's invalid. Like, but building those confidence and getting rid of their beliefs, right? I can't think of that word. But the negative thing about me is I hate when people criticize me. I only accept compliments. If someone criticizes me, I shut down. So I know that compliments build me up. So I like to send that out to the world, right? So you're going, and this program is giving you confidence already. Then you have a coach who is building your confidence and telling you how amazing you are and how great you would be on our team. You'd be such an asset. And look at how you showing your food, you complimenting, especially if they write a nice thing on someone else's post in your group, like, thank you for helping make that person's day great, right? Like, look at you. You are a rock star coach. You're a shining star, right? Like, building up people's confidence. I really think that's all my job is as a coach, right? Is to give people confidence. I'm not the nutrition or fitness expert. I'm just the cheerleader.
I love that. And like having this call, is just jogging my memory for stuff. So I was already a coach, and was I a coach? Yeah, I was a coach. And I remember when Becky and Christina were headed off to Atlantis for their very first Success Club trip. And, I was new. I didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't even achieved Emerald, I don't think, at that point. But I remember Becky saying, you're doing such a good job posting in the challenge group. Can you please hold the fort down while I'm gone? And I remember thinking, what? Me? I was shocked, because I never saw myself as a leader, let alone somebody who could lead to the same level that she was doing, because to me she was like the fitness goddess. So I stepped up, and I was so excited. I didn't want to let her down. I wanted to make sure that I made her proud and that nobody fell behind while they were on their trip, and I led, and that gave me such confidence. So that's just interesting, and I don't even know why I've never thought about that, about giving specific assignments. I've always felt like it's my duty to do this all alone, and then a lot of time I get burnt out. So this is a good reminder. So, okay, my last question I had is that I've seen some of your posts, and this is something that's kind of been a transition within the network, because leaders have been talking about, instead of being so focused on diamond, 2-star, 5-star, elite, which those are things, markers and milestones that you want to set, but instead focusing on building more emeralds. And that's basically how I got started, is that when Becky and Christina came back from Atlantis, they had talked to our upline, who's now one of our best friends, Jason Diebold, who really explained that you build emeralds. And this is the way that it was taught back then. He's like, you go back, you do an emerald boot camp, and then you just preach emerald, because obviously if you keep hitting emerald over and over and over again, you're going to build an emerald army, which leads to diamond. And then it creates a sustainable income. And then really focusing on the 500 PV model, where you're focusing on personal volume points and bringing in retail, because if you're only focused on rank and stuff like that, and only looking for rock star coaches, and you're not focusing on retail and building a belief in these programs, you're never going to have those rock star challengers or those people who are creating those stories that build your business, build your reputation. But I saw that, you recognized somebody the other day for being an Emerald ×2. So I'm assuming that they hit Emerald and then they signed 2 more coaches. I'm assuming that, but can you explain to me if I'm wrong or how you're doing that? Because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, you need to take care of your leads, right? So if you hit Success Club, you get leads. In your Emerald, you get, in Success Club 5, you get a person who's does like a video or Beachbody on demand. If you hit Success Club 10 and you're Emerald or above, you get a Shakeology one, right? Well, I sent out this huge mass email to all of my challengers. So I went and downloaded MailChimp. If you guys like, I YouTubed that and did that and did a call out for 80-day obsession. Well, one of the girls was one of my leads, and you need to sign as a coach to be in the 80-day obsession group. Well, we were chatting, we got her signed up as a coach, and then she was telling me how she got her husband going with the 21-day fix, and she's getting her neighbor started on the 21-day fix. And I was like, well, have you ever thought about coaching? Like, you're already doing all these coaching behaviors. And she's like, well, actually, I always wondered how you sign up. So here is this girl sitting as one of my leads, and I had never talked to any of my leads. I'm horrible at that. And here she wanted to sign up as a coach. So I shared with her the first post to do and those kind of things, and she has taken off. So she signed 4 coaches her first week of coaching. So I decided to celebrate the double Emerald. Yes, she signed her husband and 3 of her friends and is ready to like rock this business. But in our team page, I'm not always perfect at it, but I do like to celebrate once they hit double Emerald, triple Emerald, right? Like those kind of things, because it is a huge win. And then it's I think the more you celebrate people, the more people do, right? Just like my bad thing, I only take compliments, but the more compliments I get, the more that I do.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on
your leads.
Yes. I it's very scary to see if you hear from somebody, but sometimes you'll find a rock star like that. And there's people out there all the time, and that's just that belief. And then, I truly believe it's the same thing about the growth of your business. If you think like, oh, I can never, help this many people hit diamond, we are not going to. So you have to believe it. And sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And, I've seen a lot of people, in our team, in our big team or whatever, that they don't reach out to their leads because one person didn't respond to them or responded badly, or they've been ignored for a while. And so they got discouraged. And the thing that I've learned about the leads are that all the things I did in the beginning never seemed to work. I would get pretty fortunate every once in a while with somebody where they would respond back, but overall they wouldn't. So instead of being like, screw it, I'm just gonna not reach out to them, what I decided was to try new things. And I found something probably about 2 or 2.5 years ago that worked, where if they have a telephone number, I send them a text and I say, hey, Mandy, TGIF, how are you? And this is a great way because people are nosy. Curiosity killed the cat. People have FOMO, like all of those things. So people will respond. And you can get a very good idea and indication of what type of person you have been assigned. Because if it's somebody who's super rude, super defensive, super private, they'll be like, who is this? And then if it's somebody who's super nice and they don't want to hurt your feelings, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. I lost all the numbers in my phone. Can you tell me who this is? Because if I get a number from some weird number, that's what I always say. I'm never like, who is this? Even though obviously I didn't lose my numbers, that's who I am. So I have an idea of who it is. And I created a video
before we go or leave, I wanted to ask, can you switch the meal options around? Like right now, like in the little thing, it says like meal option 1, meal option 2, meal option 3. Can you switch those around? Like if I'm home from, like I don't have work or school, can I like make a big breakfast that's bigger than the, just flip them? Or do I need to like keep them?
So you pick your workout time and you eat your pre-workout meal, 60 to 90 minutes before that. If you're somebody that is 5:30 in the morning working out person, you can have meal option 1, which is a lighter meal instead of the pre-workout one. But no, you can't switch your containers around or the times. Is that what you were asking?
No. I meant like how there's like meal option 1, meal option 2, meal option 3. I work out in the evening when I get home from work. But there's 3 meals before I even work out. Can I switch those meals around? Because it's like meal option 2, meal option 3.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3 meals outside of the pre-workout and post-workout, you can have them in whatever order you want, just as long as pre-workout is 60 to 90 minutes before and your post-workout is an hour afterwards. But yeah, you don't have to eat them in that order. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's gonna suck because I like making big breakfast.
No, I know.
Okay.
I know. Okay, yeah. I was like, got it. Okay, anybody else? All right. Well, I was just going to say, I remember day 4 through 8, I couldn't walk. So if you guys are still feeling pretty good, enjoy it while it lasts. That's what you know. So
it kind of hurt when I went to the bathroom this morning. Like I got out of bed and I was like, oh, I feel good. I'm not that sore. And then I sat on the toilet and I was like, it hurts.
I know my legs are starting to get, since I realized that a lot of my issues with the inflammation of the joint pain and the weight gain, all that stuff, were all related to food, which has dairy, wheat, almonds, peanuts, all that stuff in it. Well, this round I'm cutting all of that out, so I know that's why I dropped a lot of that water weight and inflammation and all that stuff. But I had to cut out the Beachbody Performance stuff because of the whey in it. And so I'm just like, oh my God, I was so sore doing the recover and the recharge the first week. And like I haven't been consistent with my workouts either. So like literally it's like starting all over again. And now without that, I'm like, I'm gonna die.
I just hate clams. I just hate clams.
Yeah, those are no fun. So wait till you guys do cardio tomorrow. You'll be like, I just want to lay on my back and like move my legs. Like seriously, cardio. Get prepared. Not to scare you, but it's only 40 minutes, so that's a good thing.
Yay.
So, anyways,
who else worked out in a weird place today? Because I'm about to work out at the people that I'm babysitting for, and I was like, "Is it okay if I work out?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." They're like, "Just work out in the corner over there," and I'm like, "No room." I just can't. It's like really tiny. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can I move their table around? Move it towards the couch and use that, because otherwise I'm working out in the kitchen. Because
hey, that's a bigger space. That might be better. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Mandy, and thank you, ladies. You guys brought me back, like, to jog my memory to my early days in coaching. So, congratulations on all of your success and individually, and keep kicking ass so that you can fulfilling your mission. And if your goal is full-time coach, I know you can do it. See y'all.
It's on, guys.
Bye.
Bye.